Good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to each one of you. I'm Joy, Clinic Coordinator at RxDX Samanvay, a primary care clinic in Malleshwaram. So today we have organized a webinar on creating awareness about the ill effects of screen time with different type of gadgets like phones, tablets, TV sets, laptops, and desktops. Although using the gadget became an essential in the pandemic, it has caused its ill effects too. So to address this issue, we at RxCX are planning workshops to help in de-addiction from the gadget and make use of it in the right manner. So details of the workshop will be uploaded on our website shortly after the webinar. So for this, right now we have Dr. Gop Kumar with us, who is a practicing neurophysicist with over 25 years of experience and a special interest in topics like stress, anxiety, de-addiction, and the like. So I welcome you, sir. Over to you now.
Thank you. Thank you, Joy, and thank you, RxDX family and the participants. Good evening, everyone. Today, we are researching into a fascinating yet concerning aspect of our digital age, the impact of mobile technology on our brains. Our focus will be on understanding brain behaviors and addressing the issue of mobile addiction. Today, we will explore a comprehensive approach to tackle this issue, considering the details of the Indian cultural fabric. Our focus will be on addressing the psychological, emotional, cognitive, and behavioral aspects of smartphone addiction among school children, college children, students, while emphasizing the crucial role emotionally supportive parents play in the process. So, what we have seen in the clinic, so these are all actually affected mostly with emotionally supportive parents. The otherwise, the patient or the student will have some problem with attention hyperactivity or any other issues, or some other behavioral issues. For that, we have to understand the brain development across the vulnerability of kids and teens. So you can see the brain here, a matured brain. So this is a 3D snapshots of each and every, because the brain actually started developing from age 5 to age 20. That is what the latest study says, that brain actually matures after 25. Okay, till then the brain will be just developing process. So you can see that age 8 and 12 and 16 and within the 20, you can see the brain changes, the brain colors, you can just see the colors. So this is the 5-year, 8-year and 12 and 16 and 20. Just check, there is a purple color and you can see the frontal area, that the top area where there is fully, that purple color is there, that is actually fully developed and matured brain. Understand? So the 16, you see there is a confusion, but there is a developing plus little bit maturity is happening. But in 12 years, you can see there is no much maturity, but just brain is just developing when you compare with age 5 and 8. For example, why these people are actually addicted, you have to understand that the age 8, it starts to explore something and the brain actually thinks that everything is correct. Whatever I'm thinking is right. So what happens, because it's just developing brain, our brain actually gets some kind of reward or whatever. So then it actually kind of fascinating, and the brain actually adapts and learns and behaves accordingly. But we are not using mobiles after 25 or something, because that is a fully matured brain. But when to use, what to search, and when to stop. These are all we know because a matured brain. So still developing. That's why I'm actually very, very more concerned about the brain development across the age and ages, because this is very, very important. Everybody thinks that my child, because it's an immature child, because immature brain, then we have to address that part. Yes, somebody is asking question. Children and teenagers are at the crucial stage of their life where their brains are still in the process of maturing. Understand? This period is marked by rapid natural development, shaping the foundation of cognitive, emotional, social well-being. Unfortunately, it is also a time when they can be especially vulnerable impacts of stress, because everything is stress. Because if you ask 8-year-old homework, they are thinking that it's a stress. So What is the early stages of life? In the early years of life, the brain is like a sponge, absorbing an incredible amount of information and forming countless neural connections. This stage is crucial for laying the foundation for the future learning and behavior. Simple actions like a child learning to walk or speak are reflections of the brain's incredible adaptability and plasticity during the period. So when you start doing something, when you start searching something, when you start exploring something, the brain actually gets some kind of interest, involvement, motivation, and the plasticity, the brain actually behaves accordingly. But we don't know whether it is good or bad because the brain is just maturing, developing. And brain behaviors and mobile addiction. The neuroscience of mobile addiction. Let's start by exploring the neuroscience behind mobile addiction. Our brains are wired to seek rewards and mobile devices with their notification and constant stimuli. That's what, no, because everybody will be checking, keep on checking something. Some messages come from my friend or school or father or mother or outside, whatever it may be. So that it actually with their notification constant, it's a kind of constant stimuli can trigger the release of dopamine. So that is a feel good neurotransmitter. So you check, then you feel good about it. So that is the dopamine. This constant cycle of reward can lead to addictive behaviors, making it challenging for us to detach from our devices. Understanding the neurobiological aspect is crucial as it allows us to recognize the addictive mechanisms at play and empowers us to take control. Now, we understand the adolescence and excitable reward system. Now, let's talk about adolescence, a period often marked by its share of challenges and discoveries. The teenage brain is fascinating setting of change with heightened activity in the brain's reward system. The system plays a significant role in motivation, decision making, and the pursuit of pleasure because you can see the routine, the trigger and reward. You get a routine, trigger, and reward. So this will be continuous process. It will be, this is related to your brain neurosciences. It is not about the behavior. The behavior at the later part. The behavior changes after it's a habitual. That is the later part. The teen brain and risk taking. Because in this stage they try to do something. Consider the typical risk taking behavior associated with adolescence. This behavior is not merely a rebellion. It is complexly tied to the brain's reward system. Teenagers may be more prone to taking risks because their brains are wired to seek new experiences and rewards. Please understand, because they are again trying to do something, so they try to play something and give some kind of, they give some extra points or some kind of gold coins if you reach this level, that level. So that is the reward. Then they try to do the second level, third level, fourth level. It goes like that. So understanding this aspect helps us appreciate the biological upbringings of adolescents, fostering empathy and informed guidance. So you can see the brain here, the prefrontal cortex. This is actually social interactions and decision making. Very, very important, the decision making. So I already showed the brain was actually, the purple color was actually not fully matured. This matures after 21 plus. There's a world study. The latest study says 25 is the matured, the prefrontal cortex decision making. So social interactions and decision making. Now let's focus on the prefrontal cortex, a key player in the brain's symphony. This region is responsible for numerous of complex tasks, from regulating our emotions to making decisions that impact our long term. So this is the decision, because that is why now we take decision. We always think that the decision is correct when you are in a very young age. So then other than that, then why this is happening? Because of impulse control. The decision making and impulse control, think about decision making. The prefrontal cortex plays a crucial role in assessing risks, controlling impulsive behavior, and making thoughtful and long-term plans. In adolescence, this area is still in the process of maturation, which might explain why teens sometimes struggle with impulse control or making decisions with long-term effects. Even you see, in the 8-year or 8th grade children, they want to, hairstyle. will be in a different level, which is actually not accepted in the school level, or the coloring hairs. They try to do something, tattoos and all. Maybe in this age actually develops because they learn from the society, and because of the media is there, because they compare with others, and the decision may be 100% wrong. Acceleration of brain maturation. Studies suggest that exposure to early stressors can lead to an advanced maturation of certain brain regions. It's as if these young brains are forced to grow up too fast, because automatically, because it's a kind of a quick change in the brain, facing challenges that may overtake their natural development timeline. The accelerated emotional development. Consider emotional development. Early stress might prompt a child's brain to mature quickly in the areas related to emotional regulation. While this might seem beneficial initially, but it can lead to challenges later on, as the child may struggle to navigate complex emotions or face difficulties in forming healthy relationships. You can see, you can in the classroom or with their peer groups or at home, you can see very difficult. Their emotions are entirely different from the matured. They never behave matured way. So you can, because the fast manner, what and all happens because of the media addictions, the hormonal change is happening in the system. Because I have seen one girl, second standard, she actually matured. So what? Because they are actually checking with their family history and everything. Everything was very, very normal. Because of some kind of changes in the system, so we don't know what is happening in the system because of the fast-paced maturation, the development, the complexity of teen emotions. The teen brain is a fascinating design, particularly when it comes to emotions. Adolescents experience a surge of complex feelings, sense of hindered by the roller coaster of hormones. It is a pace where emotions are being explored for the very first time, because at the first time they're experiencing the mobile some giving some kind of rewards, and the lack of life experiences adds an additional layer of challenge. So this is very, very important. Teens, that is what I was telling. The first experience, that experience was sometimes very bad, the teen's first heartbreak. Imagine a teenager facing their first heartbreak, this rush of emotions, heartache, confusion, and perhaps anger is amplified by hormonal fluctuations. Unlike adults, teens navigate these reflective feelings without prior experience to guide them. Teens facing emotional challenges. Teens comfort a double challenge dealing with strong emotions. Their lack of life experience and the brain regions managing emotions are not fully developed. So now we have to understand the why people are actually addicted. You can understand this is the culprit. This is the thing. Understanding the dopamine rush. Let's begin with dopamine. Brain's feel good neurotransmitter. When we engage with our mobile devices, particularly through short reels, our brains are well informed for a dopamine rush, because short reels will have 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 15 seconds, 13 seconds. So there is a variety of activities, variety. The reels will be each and everything will be entirely different. So the dopamine rush will be more. These bite-sized visually stimulating pieces activate reward pathways, creating a sense of pleasure and satisfaction. So, and social media likes and shares. Consider the experience of scrolling through social media and encountering short reels. Each like, share, or engaging piece of content triggers the release of dopamine. This positive reinforcement creates a loop, encouraging us to seek more of these rewarding. So that is why different apps, they are actually they are getting more and more. They buy apps different, because the games they are buying, they banned many games because of this. Exploring why kids love their smartphones, understanding the reasons behind children's phone attachment. Let's begin by understanding what we mean by we talk about phone addiction. It goes beyond mere device usage. It involves a compulsive and excessive reliance of smartphones, often to the detriment of one's well-being and daily function. Impact of digital integration on daily life. The integration of technology into various aspects of daily life plays a key role in shaping children's behavior. from virtual classroom. It's actually started from COVID-19 and till date it is happening. Many schools are actually sending homework the mobile only. Then we are actually blaming children most of the time because it's actually they are keep on sending, and they use mobile for that purpose. And they just see one or two reels. Then after that they will be addicted. They will be mostly involved in that. So from virtual classrooms to social interactions, technology has become inseparable from their experiences. As a result, children are not only habituated to using smartphones for education purposes, but also for leisure and socializing, creating a constant connection to the digital territory. That is very, 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 very important. And because of that, what happens? The desire for social interaction, the social connection, and validation has been amplified in the digital age, shaping how children perceive and engage with their peers and the wider world. Because someone actually puts something, then somebody likes, somebody shares, then it's a kind of fascinating. It will go on like that. So that social connection actually happens because they will be waiting to call their friend and they waste their time like that. And the peer influence and social pressure. Children, especially during their formative years, are highly subject to peer influence. The pervasive use of smartphones among their peers create a sense of social pressure to conform. The fear of missing out, FOMO, this is the latest in mobile addiction on social events, conversations, or trends shared through digital platforms can drive children to spend excessive time on their phone seeking continuous connections with their peer group. This is very, very, very important. So that's what. So what is that fear of missing out and social validation? The fear of missing out, a phenomenon aggravated by the constant connectivity of social media, intensifies the need for continuous online pressure. They will be present all the time. Children often find themselves drawn into the digital range to stay updated on their peers' lives and activities. The instant gratification of likes, comments, and virtual validation through social media platforms can create a cycle where the smartphones becomes a tool for seeking approval and affirmation. Entertainment and gaming, exciting content and apps. Smartphones, after a vast selection of entertaining content and applications designed to capture the attention of children. So ads also, the games also, the from addictive games to interactive educational apps, the digital design provides a seemingly endless source of engaging material. The magnetism, because there is a magnet, because there is a kind of addiction of this content often leads children to spend extended period of their devices immersing themselves in a world of attachment. Entertainment that can be difficult to disconnect. So very difficult from if they start, very difficult to collect the mobile from children. And escapism and digital recreation. For many children, smartphones serve as means of escape from the challenges and stress of daily life. Engaging in digital entertainment and gaming allows them to temporarily disconnect from reality and immerse themselves in virtual worlds. This form of escapism, while providing momentary relief, that is just momentary relief, can contribute to an unhealthy support on smartphones as a coping mechanism, potentially leading. So, especially nowadays, there are many things are happening, and for that, parental influence and role modeling is very, very important. For most of the parents are actually using mobiles, children will be seeing. Children often learn by observing the behavior of their parents. If parents exhibit excessive smartphone use, whether for work or leisure, children are likely to internalize these habits. This omnipresence of smartphones in parental activities sends a powerful message about their importance and attractiveness, influencing children to match similar behavior because the kind of a role model from parents or anybody, mother or father. And someone actually stays at home, maybe a grandfather, maybe watching TV all the time or mobile use, anything, because there is a home environment also very important, and the lack of supervision and guidelines. The absence of clear guidelines and supervision regarding smartphone use within the family can contribute to children's unchecked screen time. When parents fail to establish and enforce boundaries, children may interpret this as tactic approval for unrestricted smartphone use. Clear communication and setting age appropriate limits on screen time are essential to guide children toward responsible digital habits. So that is also very, very important. This lack of supervision and guidelines. And I want to say something about educational technology trends, because the integration of smartphones in learning, the use of smartphones as education tools has become increasingly prevalent in modern classrooms. With these rise of educational apps, online learning platforms, and digital resources, smartphones offer students convenient access to information and interactive learning experience. However, the continuous integration of smartphones into the educational setting can advertently contribute to extended screen time, blurring the boundaries between educational and recreational use. Balancing educational use and potential difficulties. While educational technology enhances the learning opportunity, there is a need to strike a balance between utilizing smartphones for educational purposes and avoiding potential dangers. Children might find it challenging to differentiate between educational tasks and leisure activities on the devices. Therefore, the lines between productive learning and entertainment can become blurred, leading to extended periods of smartphone use even when not engaged in educational activities. And other than that, targeted advertising to children. Marketers employ sophisticated strategies to reach children through various digital channels. Advertisements are often crafted to be visually engaging, entertaining, and designed to capture the attention of young minds. With the prevalence in in-app advertisements, because if you use games, that there'll be in-app advertisement, sponsored content, and social media campaigns, children are exposed to constant stream of appealing messages, prompting them to spend more time on their smartphones and shaping young minds in the age of consumerism. Children may not possess the same level of judgment as adults when it comes to recognizing the influential intent of advertising, because that adults can understand why they are actually advertising, but the children can't even understand because they demand. You can see, children will demand when they see advertisement. They go to shops, then demand parents because they don't have any idea. The appeal of colorful ads, character endorsements, and interactive content can make it challenging for children to resist the temptation to engage further with marketed products or services. This can lead to prolonged screen time as they navigate through advertisements and related content. This is most important. You have to understand that cyberbullying and online harassment, hidden dangers in digital spaces. Digital platforms provide a space for social interaction, but they also hide potential risks. Cyberbullying involves the use of digital technology to deliberately harass, threaten, or intimidate others. Children who fall victim to cyberbullying may find themselves compelled to spend excessive time on their smartphones. You have seen many stories in this regard, compelled to sit in the, because the online gaming, they're all, and the chatting, and there are many cases are actually registered all over the world. Either an attempt to escape the navigate experience to, or to seek support and understanding from friends. Then coping strategies and support system. The fear of cyberbullying can drive children to remain constantly connected to their smartphones as a means of monitoring and managing their content presence. This increased vigilance, while an attempt to protect themselves, can contribute to addictive behaviors. So then, what and all happens when you are addicted? Why you are addicted? So pleasure. Smartphone addiction is linked to the pleasure centers in the brain. Every notification, likes, or message provides a pleasurable reward, releasing dopamine that makes users feel happy and wanting more. This unpredictability keeps them scrolling in endlessly through social media. Part of extended self, because that is, they always think that it's a part of extended self, because there is no real thing. Smartphones have become an integral part of our identities. Losing or being without their phones can create anxiety for children, as these devices are seen as extension of themselves. This connection is so strong that many teens feel discomfort when separated from their devices. Because there are many cases uh, from the children at the teenage level, at the preteen level, and the adult level also. And they need to produce and socialize. In the digital age, mobile devices serve as tools for self-expressions. Teens take pictures, share selfies, and engage in socializing through text and online platforms. This mirrors the human instinct to communicate and create, but in a modern and digital form. The olden days, what we do, because to communicate, we used to send letters, the greeting cards. Now, because any kind of wishes, a birthday or anything, or general, here now it's not like that, because they create everything in the digital form. The recognition by the public, the desire to belong and be acceptable is fulfilled through cell phones and social media. Teens seek recognition through likes, comments, and messages, forming a habit of repeatedly checking their phones for validation and acceptance. So the appeal of short reels in mobile addiction, I told you before only. Short reels often characterized by quick, entertaining, and visually appealing content are designed to capture our attention in a matter of seconds, within few seconds. This format aligns seamlessly with the way our brain processes information in the age of digital consumption. Mobile addiction and dopamine, I already mentioned about. Now we know about the dopamine and the feel good triggers and the endless scrolling and notification. This already I mentioned. Okay, now what you have to understand: impact on mental well-being. While a natural part of our brain's reward system, overstimulating dopamine can have consequences for mental well-being, because the dopamine is actually the releases less or increases because the happy. If not, they will be very sad. They will be depressed, anxious, fearful, and so many other mental health issues. Mobile addiction, fueled by short reels, can lead to a constant cycle of seeking, consuming, and craving more and more. So, how to handling conflict in a friendship? Imagine a teen dealing with conflict. The emotional insensitivity may feel overwhelming. Unlike adults, teens lack life experience to guide them through complex emotions. That's why, because they don't know how to handle. Because you can see the how the adult behaves with the friends, and how the children behave with their age groups, entirely different, and they don't know how to manage, because there is a severe conflict. So mobile addiction and the emotional impact. So now let's connect this to mobile addiction. In the digital age, teens navigate emotional challenges both in their personal lives and through mobile devices. For example, you can, because every parent comes and tells about the Korean serial and mobile addiction, inspired by a Korean serial. Characters entangled in emotional drama showcase the impact of mobile addiction, how digital interactions complicate emotional experience, because you can see very well picturized, because I've seen the serial, but because attracting the younger, the teenage groups, really they will be involved in that, because I've seen there are many of them actually. They've seen Korean many serials. Understanding, then that is why they are using, because there are actually thousands of people, but the very few people are actually seriously addicted to mobile. That is because of mobile personality. So understanding your mobile personality. When we talk about mobile personality, we are discussing the unique characteristics displayed in smartphones. It's like expressing ourselves through our phones, because that's what. Because if you have a mobile phone, then you are good, like that. Now you have something. Previously it was actually, if somebody has mobile or car, that the personality actually in a different manner. Now mobiles and the app selection, because the mobile personality people, they will have like app selections, because how they select apps, consider apps. These selection reveals interest, priorities, and daily routines. Because one of your friends using Instagram, then you should use Instagram. Otherwise, totally waste, like that. No, that may be actually fitness, language learning, and meditation apps may convey a focus on health and uh, personal development. Because which one you are choosing, that is very important. Because you are using it for chat or learning purpose, that is very important, because app selection. And then customization and themes. Mobile personality involves customization, wallpapers, themes. You can make out, no, because this person actually uses most of the Korean drama pictures may be there. Somebody uses their film actor or actors, or family members, or friends photos, or something actually. It's a hidden level, because that actually or a plain layout suggests simplicity, while vibrant themes indicate expressiveness. That's what you have to understand, because this is a kind of a perception, because they are projecting it in a different manner based on their themes. That example is actually notifications and interaction patterns. How we interact with notifications defines our mobile personality. Prompt responders versus delayed responses, because you have to answer immediately, like that. Then frequency of checking, each contributes to our unique phone personality. Apps extension of identity, then that is actually social media use. Social media habits on mobile device reveals need for connection. That is actually needs for connection, self-expressions, or informing shame. Mostly they are actually sharing their information to your friend, because the most of the people I've seen in my clinical experience and my personal experience, what they do, they don't have that their best understanding level friend to express their feelings. They write something and send it to their own email and keep it. They store it, and you can see the percentage of people using social media on daily basis. You can see the Facebook 74 percentage, and YouTube 72. That actually, and Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, because it's banned in India, but it's a kind of a world level survey. And you have to understand the privacy settings and security measures. Approach to privacy and security settings on smartphones is part of mobile personality. Some prioritize maximum security, while others opt for openness, reflecting comfort with sharing information. Because there I have seen, no, because they actually hide their phone number, or their gender, or their birth date, something like that. Because some people actually very much open, because then again there will be some problem also later on. Then you have to understand, after all those things, what actually the impact on cognitive functions. So what are the cognitive functions? Now let's discuss the impact on cognitive functions. Excessive mobile use has been linked to attention issues, decreased concentration, and impaired memory. The constant switching between apps and notifications can interrupt our ability to focus on tasks, affecting our overall cognitive performance. Mainly, that's what most of the children, they come to the clinic mainly for attention problem, concentration problem, sitting long time in that particular class or tuition, very difficult. So attention, it affecting cognitively, it is affecting. Recognizing these cognitive challenges is the first step in modifying their impact and regaining control over our mental process. Then understanding cognitive consequences of early stress. Then I already mentioned about the early stress because of the maturity, the brain maturity, the emotional maturity is not there, so the behavior may be affected because it's actually linked to their learning, how they are learning negatively and how they are actually taking decisions wrongly. These are all actually because of the early stress. And you have to understand the learning and memory implications. These accelerated maturations may impact learning and memory process. The learning and memory process, there are actually a different learning memory process. There is if you take a temporal lobe, there is a left temporal and right temporal lobe, and which actually for learning and memory, verbal and visual aspects, short-term and long-term memory, and visual, the working memory aspects, short-term and long-term. That working memories, visual and verbal working memory process, because it actually most of the children I have seen their learning is actually affected because they scored 93 after using smartphone. They drastically they failed and they are in the 50s and sometimes they are very less and they failed also. So this is actually very important to understand why that we are focusing more on children because of the learning and memory, attention, most of the cognitive issues. So they don't know how to take a decision making challenges because with certain brain regions maturing rapidly, a child may face challenges in making age-appropriate decisions. Very important, age-appropriate decisions, and implications for educational progress. This misalignment can have implications for the child's educational progress, their ability to grasp new concepts, participate in class discussions, and perform academically may be affected. So then for that, educational interventions and support, understanding, recognizing these challenges, educational interventions and support become crucial. Teachers and caregivers play a central role in understanding the unique cognitive needs of a child with accelerated brain maturation. Cognitive challenges in the academic environment, that is very important for children. Now let's imagine a stressed child navigating the academic environment where the impact of accelerated brain maturation becomes evident. Misalignment between biological and chronological age. When we do assessments on children, because those who come for cognitive assessment, we just check their intelligence and the age appropriate educational grades, because the student in 4th grade, the age there is no age appropriate grade level development. So maybe the studying in 4th grade, the maturity or the development or the skills are actually in 1st grade or 2nd grade. The 2 years actually below the normal level. So the child's brain having matured quickly due to stress might find itself misaligned with the chronological age. Okay, so navigating grade level cognitive demands, because that's what we do. We do generally what we do. We do the grade level assessment and that biological and chronological age level intellectual assessments to understand the brain maturity. Plus, we do the social maturity, because when we discuss about children, we have to discuss about social maturity, emotional maturity, intellectual maturity, and the age grade level maturity, because that is the thing very at the chronological level. They have to match with that. So addressing cognitive discrepancies, efforts to address cognitive disparities involve creating an inclusive learning environment. tailored teaching methods, additional support, and flexibility can be uh, will be helpful the cognitive needs of these children, because most important is actually when the cognitive level problem, you should be more flexible, because most of them actually with behavioral they are very rigid. So if you uh, make them little flexible, so 50% of problem will be solved easily. And so what are the signs of digital device overuse in our children? Sleep issues, very important. If your child is having trouble sleeping, it might be linked to excessive screen time. Staying up late playing games or watching videos, checking notifications during the night, or using screens before bedtime can disrupt their sleep patterns. And the other problem you can see, younger children actually with the depression I've seen. Even I'm seeing all this 8, 9, 10, 11. Only I'm happy there are many children struggling with the depression, anxiety, and dependency. A lack of real life interaction due to excessive device use can lead to mental health issues. Studies show that teens who prefer virtual communications may experience social anxiety or depression. Excessive phone use can negatively impact relationship with friends and family. That's already there. So many parents complain that one. A clear sign of smartphone addiction is feeling anxious when your phone is within reach or lack of service. Because you can see, because there is no currency, how they struggle, they panic. The dependency on constant connectivity can have profound effects on your emotional state. So, what are the signs of digital device overuse in children? Obsessive compulsive behavior. If your teen feels a constant need to use their mobile device and experience anxiety or panic, which isn't uh, when it's turned off, it could be a sign of a deeper issue. So compulsion, the obsession with staying connected all uh, times may require professional intervention. That is we have to understand, because really they actually developed obsessed with the phone and in the compulsive of using something. So we have to understand, for that a professional intervention and the assessment is needed. And then relationship problems. Excessive engagement with mobile phones can lead to a disconnection from the real world. This can affect various aspects of their lives, including school, family, and other responsibilities. Your child might isolate themselves from friends and family, preferring the digital world over face-to-face interaction. I've seen thousands of children, they are actually disconnected this relationship, because at the family level, friends level, classroom level, you can, they come and tell me I don't have any friends, I sit in the dark. Other signs are, if you are interference with daily activities, if your phone you starts interfering with your daily routine activities and tasks, it may be a red flag. The constant need to check notifications or engage with your device can disrupt the flow of your day. Social and event spoilers. If you find that your phone has disrupted family vacations or spoiled social events with friends, it indicates a negative impact on your social life. Then what else? Yeah, you can see the physical strain and injuries also. The excessive cell phone usage can lead to physical strain and injuries. Neck pain and eye strain are common issues associated with prolonged screen time. Then time management. The loss of time perception, indirect consequences, losing the sense of time due to constant phone direct distractions. Because you have to understand, because many of them actually they sleep around 2 o'clock because of continuously checking. They miss, and in the morning they get up late, and these are all things are happening not only with the children, and be at home with working people. It is happening. So the time sense, they don't have hours can pass unnoticed when occupied in digital content. And withdrawal from the physical world. Smartphone addiction may lead to withdrawal from the physical world, isolation oneself from friends, family, and activities that were uh, once enjoyed is common outcome, because that is another major issue, and failed attempts to limit usage. Finally, unsuccessful attempts to limit cell phone usage despite recognizing its negative effects signal a deeper issue. It features the change, uh, the challenge of breaking free from addictive behaviors. Okay, so we have to understand the impact of screen time. So, what study says? A recent study has brought to our attention some alarming trends, revealing that the average child spends about 6.5 hours a day in front of screens, dedicating more than 11 hours a week to video games, sometimes at the expense of their sleep. The upcoming slides explores several crucial issues that require our focus. So this 11 hours actually may be modified now. Even per day only they are actually using 11 hours. So it is actually these are all actually before the 2022, because in 2020 the latest studies and all it will be entirely different. Um, then what happens? So the impact actually digital eye strain and physical health. Prolonged screen time can lead to digital eye strain characterized by symptoms like dry eyes, headaches, and blurred vision. But what you can do, you can actually do small technique. Follow the 20 20 20 rule. Every 20 minutes, take a 20-second break and look at sometimes 20 feet away to reduce eye strain. And disruption of sleep patterns, exposure to the blue light emitted by screens, especially before bedtime, can interfere with the production of melatonin, a sleep-inducing hormone, which actually never secretes. So the poor sleep quality is linked to various health issues, including decreased cognition and decreased and increased stress. And what is the cognitive impact? So you can see the internet addiction is associated with, because this the fMRI studies says that the internet addiction is associated with the structural and functional changes, because it's not only the functional level, it changes the brain level, and involving emotional processing, executive attention, executive functions, the decision making capacity, intellectual ability, decision making, and the cognitive control. That you have to understand. So then that's what I was telling about the cognitive functions. Excessive screen time, particularly on devices with constant notification, and lead to attention fragmentation. So that is what the studies suggest, that negative correlation between high screen time and less sustained attention. So what happens? The sustained attention actually very, very important for school children. Sitting in a class for 1 hour, it's a 45 minutes to 1 hour. They can't sit for longer time. For the movie or notifications or the screens, they can sit for 11 hours continuously. But in classroom, they can't sit. The sustained attention is affected because of attention and concentration problem. And not only that one, there are 3 different attentions. One is like focused attention, divided attention, multitasking, and sustained attention. All the 3 attentions actually will be affected because of over screen use. Social and emotional impact, because I already mentioned the emotions. Then what are the physical health concerns? So that they will have a sedentary lifestyle. Excessive screen time often correlates with sedentary lifestyle, contributing to health issues like obesity and cardiovascular disease. encourage breaks for physical activity to counterbalance prolonged sitting. And what is that? The other one actually posture problems. Poor posture during extended screen use can lead to musculoskeletal problems, including neck and back pain. Practice ergonomic habits and take breaks to stretch and move around. And what are the behavioral impact? Excessive screen time, especially in younger individuals, may contribute to impaired social skills and difficulty to face-to-face interactions. Encourage a balance between online and offline socialization. Addiction and dependency. Constant connectivity and engaging content can contribute to screen addiction. Recognizing signs of dependency such as anxiety when away from screens is crucial for addressing this issue. Okay, so now because you can, if you have actually pen and paper, then just take on white sheet and keep it with you. So am I addicted to mobile phone? So I'll be asking few questions. You can actually say, yes or no. So let's take a moment for some self-reflection and consider a few questions that can help us determine if we might be dealing with excessive screen time, perhaps even closest on addiction, because it's not real addiction, but it is actually nearly. It's crucial to be honest with ourselves and address any potential concerns. But if you have paper and pencil, keep ready, because you can see the questions and you can say yes or no. Do you feel nervous? Because that is a kind of anxiety related. Do you feel nervous when you can't find your phone immediately? Does this discomfort persist until you locate it? Yes or no? Constant checking. Are you regularly checking your email, social media, or messenger chat, even when not expecting a specific message? Is this behavior interfering with interactions with those around you? Digital versus face-to-face interactions. You spend more time chatting on social media than engaging in face-to-face conversations. Tech enthusiasts. Do you closely follow the latest news in mobile technology to ensure you have the latest devices, functionalities, and trending apps? Discomfort turning off. It is uncomfortable for you to turn off your mobile, even when the situation calls for it. Next one is distracted driving. You text or read your Facebook feed while driving. Remember, this is not only legal but also dangerous. But that is most important, because while driving, it's not at all not used, but we use screen nose syndrome. Have you ever bumped into people or objects because of your attention is on your screen while walking? Are you known as the app king among your friends, downloading numerous new apps but using them briefly before moving on? Phone everywhere. You take your phone everywhere, including to the bed and the bathroom, and use constant distraction. Is your most commonly used word pardon? Because when your mother asks, or father asks, or teacher asks, or friends ask, pardon, or something equivalent, because your attention is consistently on your. So now check if it is, there are more S's. Yeah, actually. So now we come to the understanding level. This is not a professional level, but to understand for a teacher and college level. So what and all you can do, that empowering parents, teachers, and children, holistic approach to healthy digital navigating parental and teacher roles, collaborative understanding of digital environment, building open communication channels, that is establishing open lines of communication between parents, teachers, and children creates a support. Regular updates on digital experience can lead to informed guidance. For parents and teachers concerned about screen time, game dominance, so address excessive gaming in both home and school environments, promoting a balance of activities, increasing screen time. So collaborate to monitor changes in screen time, fostering awareness, and jointly setting reasonable limits. And then obsession with digital content manage discussions about digital content collectively to maintain a balanced focus on academics and other activities. So then they need digital literacy education, then inclusive tech policies, monitoring screen time in school. This is also very important, and then encouraging collaborative projects with teamwork, creativity, and responsible use of technology, and professional development, and provide ongoing professional development for teachers to stay informed about the latest digital trends and effective strategies for managing screen time. And they have to educate cyber safety education. That is important. For parents, emphasizing open communication, creating a dialogue, express thoughts on mobile devices without judgment, active listening, because the children like to express something. Children's tech experiences fostering trust and tailored guidance, because the parents has to do expressing concerns openly, express concerns about mobile addiction, detailing potential impacts on well-being, academics, and relationship, and a contextual rule explanation. We have to better adherence, helping children understanding the reason, and then highlighting potential consequences because of using what and all things happen. You have to educate, and encouraging empathy. Frame rules with empathy, instilling a sense of responsibility in children. Then collaborating rules. Rule establishment, inclusive decision making, establishing rewards, set rewards for adherence like screen free family time, reinforcing positive behavior, setting consequences together, collectively set consequences for rule violations, ensuring shared accountability for because at home. The setting consequences together will be a fantastic approach, fostering a balanced digital lifestyle, modeling healthy behavior, encouraging offline activities and interactive engagement, and involved actively in any games or apps, meaningful conversations. Then parental controls for content to ensure safe content, use potential controls to limit exposure to violence and inappropriate content, strategies for healthier mobile habits, set usage limits, establish tech-free zone and times, practices mindful utilization, also very, very important, and digital detox days. Schedule regular digital detox days where you purposely disconnect from your devices. That is sometimes Sundays or Saturday. Engage in activities that don't involve screen to reset your relationship with technology. Foster in-person connections. Prioritize face-to-face interactions over virtual ones. And then this is the thing, establishing family rules with electronics. Here are few household rules you might want to establish to curb screen time. So no digital device during family meals anytime. No electronics used during family fun nights. No screen time or any traveling time, car or mobile, which is actually illegal, or any other traveling time. No screens allowed in bedroom. So the importance of support and intervention. That is most valuable. That is what you have to understand. You have to analyze the children and understand the child. For that, the importance of support and intervention. Recognizing the impact of early stress brain development emphasizes the importance of providing adequate support and interventions for children and teens facing challenging circumstances. It underscores the need for nurturing environments, understanding educators, and mental health resources to help these young minds navigate the complexities they may be forced to confront. And apart from that, seek professional help needed. If mobile use is significantly impacting your daily life and well-being, consider seeking professional help with like me, psychologist, psychiatrist, or anybody. But in RxDX, we have a wonderful professionals and can seek your help, and you can come. We'll definitely assess the children and understand their problem, and we can have wonderful few sessions to and approach therapists and counselors can provide guidance on managing technology use because parents are very emotionally connected. Teachers they do their responsibility, their work. So in that way, the professionals really will understand the children's problem and guide them professionally. And so the conclusion, in conclusion, recognizing these signs of mobile addiction is the first step towards building healthier habits. By implementing these strategies, we can foster a balanced relationship with our devices and create a more mindful and intentional approach to technology use. Thank you. And any questions?
Thank you so much for your excellent lecture, Doctor.
Thank you so
How
much.
long it takes in your cases for the child to recover from this addiction?
Okay, that is a good question because that's what I was telling. The initial the slides you have seen, no, there is a kind of a maturity. It's a kind of a maturity because some children I have seen in my clinic, only one session they actually completely left everything and they gave their mobile to me only because after exams only I gave. So that meant the education goes properly, the psychoeducation, and the way we convey the message, we give therapy and that maturity. Because I use these slides because that the maturity slides because you are still developing stage, but you don't understand which is right, which is wrong. Because the best way of actually explaining things because in children level and definitely you will understand they don't because I will tell them because it's not you are not behaving because your brain your culprit is your brain not you are a good person because your brain is actually not mature that's why you are doing so I just guide them so it actually sometimes it actually there are 6 sessions there are many cases actually 3 sessions 1 session and there are 13 sessions also because it varies depends on the children how they understand the concept that's all ideas that's all it's all based on the children because based on their maturity also even there are 19 years even 12th grade because already 18 plus only there is a problem understanding concept so in that way because children because they need because we have to create wrap up properly and understand they're addicted or not and the assessment part is there analyze and the scores are actually very significant. Is there any kind of other problems like they have ADHD, attention hyperactivity disorder, or ADD, attention deficit disorder, or along with any other behavioral issues, or something then high functional autism, or something is there. So we link with that and understand if there is a very normal child, I think without any all ADHD or anything, I think within 1 to 3 sessions they will be all right.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Because as primary care physician, when we want to refer to the neuropsychologist, the parents would like to know how long it will take.
Correct. That is true.
And what is the role of the percentage of the role of the parents in this recovery rate?
So because our job is actually speaking, we will be seeing 1 hour or maximum 1 or 2 hours.
No, the role, percentage of role of parents, I'm asking.
That's what I'm telling.
When the parents are going to be reckless, means the recovery rate is going to be unduly delayed.
That's what I was telling because the parents, because they most of the time they only use mobile. Their role model is the parents only. So in that way, that the parents role will be 85%, 15% from professional side or teacher side. Teacher actually, I can say that children side around because the maturity level. So 85% from children's side because they are improving. But the children because they are actually underdeveloped, the maturity level is very poor. Definitely more than 60-70% parents' involvement should be there. And the problem with the parents are actually more emotional parents because no, the student he is crying too much, so better to give. He's actually making so much noise, so we'll give. The parents are more emotional. The first guidance is to the parents only. So then ask them to undergo 1 session with this psychoeducation process. Then they know how to handle because they lived in a very bad shape because their parents they won't give any money at all. Now they are earning too much. They don't want to give that kind of struggle to their children. That is the major issue with parents. So, yeah, that is what because then that's what even the first slide I mentioned that emotionally bending parents because with that very difficult. There are actually parents because you do whatever you want. This is what the way I behave. So the children are actually come and cry with me only. Sir, please educate my mother. So it is a very, you are 100% right. Not only that, because not only that, parents actually around 60% means from teacher side another 20%, professionally myself on 20% will work.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Very kind of you. We really enjoyed it. Thank you so
Thank
much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you are welcome. So any other questions, please?
Thank you, doctor. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you for the session.
and no, I'm actually going to put one other slides. Please be seated for 1 minute. So what we have actually mobile de-addiction workshop we are going to conduct. We invite school and college students to enroll in our 3-hour mobile wellness workshop. The workshop includes psychological therapies, behavioral aspects, emotional stability training, and cognitive training tailored to address mobile addiction. For those who are interested in participating, please contact us, RxDX, and they will help you. And the program actually, whatever I mentioned, no, these are all actually the programs for school children. Responsible phone use, and because they have to give supporting academic success and cognitively understanding their cognitive ability and help them in not academically, cognitively, then academically, and the behavioral aspect, the emotional aspects, and for that the therapeutic level they need support. And if anyone is actually interested in workshops, they can actually participate and contact us, yeah, for further details. Yes, Joy, you can.
Yeah, doctor, we were able to hear you.
Yeah, any questions?
Great
Any other questions? And thank you everyone for the patience, active listening, participation. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone, and thanks the organizers, Joy and Jyoti Madam, and RxDX team members